So what are going to be some of the smart ways to save money on the feeds? Let's talk about solutions. How can we reduce feed costs without affecting the growth of the broilers, or if you're poultry, if you are dealing with layers, without affecting egg production? One, let us avoid feed wastage. Feed wastage is going to be a silent thief. Very many farmers, you're losing up to 10% of feeds every day through poor feeding practices. What am I talking about? Make sure you're using proper feeders, not basins. You're not using floor feeding. There are farmers that just power feeds on the floor. Two, always adjust the feeders. Do not put your feeders at ground level. Adjust them at what I call the bird's back height. Here they are going to feed comfortably without spilling or throwing the feeds out. Remember that every grain saved is going to be a coin that is earned. So, if you're buying feeds or you're mixing your own feeds, try to buy these feeds in bulk. That's what I'm doing on the farm. I try to buy the feeds in bulk. If you're having enough storage space, for example, here, you're going to store them right there that you're seeing. So, if you're having enough storage space, buy the feeds in bulk. If you're buying maize bran, cotton seed cake, fish meal, or you're buying already mixed feeds, try to buy them when the prices are low and then buy them in bulk. Just make sure where you're storing them, it is very safe, it is well ventilated, it is dry, and the people on the farm are not stealing the feeds. Because when we buy in bulk, even if you are saving 100 shilling, when you multiply it all the bags, then we are saving too much money. Another option I would want you to try is mix your own feeds. Now, this one requires you to watch so many videos. I had to watch so many videos. I had to read so many books before I could finally understand the feed formulas and the ratios. Otherwise, if you can mix your own feed using local ingredients, then trust me, you're going to save as much money as you can. For example, if you're mixing a broiler starter, you're going to have 60% maize, that is for energy, 25% the soya or the sunflower for the protein. You're going to have 10% that is going to be the fish meal, that is for animal protein. You're going to have 3% the bone meal, and then around 2% the vitamin. So if the cost of feeds wants to push you out of the poultry business, I would recommend take time, study the feed formulas and the feed ratios. Then start mixing your own feeds at home. Try to watch as many videos as you can. I'll make for you a video about how to mix the feed. Three, feed timing and management. What am I doing on the farm? Here we are feeding the birds at the same time every day. The broilers are given enough feeds in the morning and then late in the afternoon when the temperatures are cool. Because remember, when temperatures are very hot, these birds are going to eat less and then they are going to waste most of the feeds. And try as much as you can to keep the drinkers very clean and fresh, because dirty water is going to reduce the feed intake. For those dealing with broilers, you can think about using greens and the locally available ingredients. Three, you can think about growing your own feed ingredients. For example, maize. On the farm, I'm thinking about growing maize here. I don't know how much maize can fit within that space. But then think about growing some of these ingredients. For example, maize, sunflower, soya beans, sweet potatoes, or cassava. Each time you're growing this maize, you're going to save, even if you're growing just one ingredient, you're going to save a lot of money. The other thing you can think about is growing the azola. I don't know if you've heard about the azola, but right here you can see these are three ponds where we are growing the azola. I can show you a sample. And what do you need? You just need to dig pits, put sapling, and get the azola seeds. So by growing just one component, the azola, it is saving me a lot of money, because remember, azola is very azola is very rich in protein, around 20% protein. It's a very good protein source. Just get pits, put sapling, and get the azola seed. I'll make for you a video maybe about the azola. Then lastly, all I can say is, members, let us master the feeding formulas and the feeding ratios, because once you take that path of mixing your own feeds, it can save you around 20 to 30% in costs for the feeds. But once you mix them poorly, then in the long run, your birds are not going to grow. Someone who was trying to save 20%, you're going to end up losing around the 20%. So in conclusion, I think the price of feeds is a solution you need to take. It is going to be a challenge you need to take very, very seriously. Do not forget to hit the subscription button down in the comment section. Tell us, how are you handling the feeds on your own farm? Do not forget to give me a thumbs up and check our channel for weekly updates. Share this video to a fellow farmer you think will need the content.